What's up, Legend? Just getting us into the zone here with a little Quavo and takeoff. You know how it is. But listen, man, I've been looking forward to talking to you guys for a long time, bro. Like, I've been an NFT Inspect fan for a long time, and we're gonna dive right into this. If that's okay with you.
Of course, appreciate it. I just wanna, if I'm having unstable Wi-Fi, so if I cut out, just send me a message or anything, because I might not know.
Okay, no worries, bro. Yeah, I'll definitely ping you if that's the case. But look, let's just dive right into it because I know you guys went through a little name change recently. So, if you could just talk through, why did you find it important to change from NFT Inspect to just Inspect?
Of course, and it's honestly it's a lot more than just what you guys have seen now. There's going to be we really want to change the overall narrative of not only Inspect but just how companies in Web3 build. I think Pudgy Penguin is a great example of how to do it correctly. And the reason behind NFT Inspect is because, look, we're not just about creating tools only for Web3. I think it starts in Web3, and we'll always be loyal to our initial fan base and to our initial users. But the goal is to expand outside of it so that we can always bring all the value back to the Web3 community. And I think that's how you need to build. You need to start with Web3, start with NFTs, start with crypto, whatever it may be, and then go outside and expand there. And it started off with NFTs, as everyone has known. We already announced what we're going to be doing with crypto. We posted the video where we showcase how we're going to start tracking cryptocurrencies as well. So it's going to expand and be a lot more than just NFTs, crypto. It's because to be honest, I myself, I'm only for Web3. My background is also AI, so I go on Twitter about politics, read about AI, and in a world where fake news is everywhere and it's hard to differentiate what's real and what's not. I think it's important for us to be the tool that allows people to make their own decisions, but provide them with the data so that they can decide who they want to follow, what information is reliable, what isn't, but based off of overall community sentiment. So whether you're in AI, you're in politics, you're in NFT, you're in crypto, you just want to be up to date and follow the right people, we want to be that tool.
Well, I think you guys are well on your way to becoming that. I was talking with The Dream, last week, and, I was just so blown away by what you guys had cooking behind the scenes. So that's why I wanted to set up this conversation too, because just wanted the world to know what you guys are up to. And, I guess the next question I have for you is, Inspect is your go-to destination for Web3 social intelligence. Can you expand on what social intelligence is and why you think it's an important thing to track? Kind of maybe even following up on the first question that we just went through. You're on mute too. I don't know if you know that, but this is the Wi-Fi problem we were talking about, I guess, maybe.
Sorry. No, I'm all good. I thought I clicked unmute. Good. I mean, look, social intelligence. There's obviously a federal definition. The way I see it, social intelligence is just about providing information based off of online data. We have our own way of segmenting the data, obviously. It's a way that we do it. But the goal and go-to destination of social intelligence, it's know who are the most prominent figures, what are they doing, how are they ranking up against other people in their community, or whether, when I say the word community, it's whether in their own niche down Bored Ape Yacht Club or Sappy Seals community, or much bigger than that, where it's in the entirety of the Web3 ecosystem, and then eventually it'll be the entire Twitter ecosystem as a whole. So we'll be able to segment later on Twitter as a whole, which will include AI, politics, NFT, Twitter, etc. And then as far as NFTs, and then as far as just crypto or Web3 as a whole, etc. And I think it's important to track, especially in Web3, because it's that there's so many scams going on. There's so much false information. And I feel like Web3 itself just has a bad rep, but it's not even that bad of a rep in terms of, because it's accurate. People just go with whatever news they see. They don't even do their own research a lot of the time. And I think it's in a world where they do that, I think it's at least important that you follow the right people if you just jump to conclusions.
Yeah, definitely fair point. Especially there's plenty of accounts to follow. You can easily be led astray. I don't know what you're going to be allowed to talk about here, but we'd love to hear a little bit about Inspect 2.0. Will Inspect 2.0 help traders as well? That's another thing I had to ask you. Did you hear that last question, Mike?
Yeah. So Inspect 2.0 is. Sorry, I think my Wi-Fi cut out. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I heard it. So
no, I can hear you, bro. Go
Inspect
ahead.
2.0, we've already unveiled what it's going to be in that video that we posted. Inspect 2.0 will allow. I think there's a massive delay. Let me leave and rejoin.
Yeah, no worries, bro. Whatever you think is best. This is live, guys. Welcome. This isn't a movie. This is a play. Something's not going to go perfect every time, but, we get to have a little conversation with Inspect, so we got to be patient. Got some cool stuff coming. If you guys don't know, Inspect has been around for a long time, changed ownership. All of Twitter is checking their rankings all the time. And, once it branches out from crypto and Web3, definitely going to be very exciting to see how that goes. Yeah, Mike, feel free to join back whenever, my guy, and I'll get you back on the stage. Looks like he's still requested. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Mike, it says you're still on the stage, pal. I know you just said you requested, but I don't know what's up with that. Let me invite you to co-host. See, maybe that will change. Got a lot of good questions to ask too, so definitely hope we can get you back on here. Yeah, I don't know, Mike. Maybe try closing Twitter and reopen it or something, bro. Definitely the Wi-Fi is our enemy today, but that's okay. We got some time. Oh, let's go. I see you. All right. Mike, you there?
But that was strange. I was trying to
No, it's
jump
all
back
good,
on.
dude. It's all good. We're chilling.
Yeah.
We're chilling.
Okay, yeah. So to re-answer your question, so what is Inspect 2.0? We already announced it on our video, and maybe to anyone who hasn't seen it and looked into it, I'll also add some more. So Inspect, what you've known it to be, has just been the social intelligence tool for NFTs, ranking KOLs, ranking communities, ranking projects. And we want to go outside of that and start also for crypto. So allowing communities and KOLs on the crypto side to also get to be a part of NFT Inspect, and I guess Inspect, and really get that solid information like you get on NFTs. But outside of that, we've also partnered with someone that I can't disclose yet, but to allow for everyone to eventually and very soon be able to directly buy NFTs and crypto directly from the Google Chrome extension on Twitter. So for example, Alan, I can go directly on your page. I like your SAPI. If it's listed on OpenSea, I click on the Google Chrome extension, I see all the information about it, and I really enjoy it. Well, I can go as far as buying it directly off the Google Chrome extension rather than going off platform. Because what we've noticed, like initially with Inspect, I was kind of trying to test like how to get more users. We're all focused on being a tool like this. I'm focused on how can I reach the masses more and get more users. And really, there was a lot more information on the website as opposed to on the extension. And so I was focusing more on getting more users on the website so that then funnel them to the extension. And what I found is people were just not as interested. They really like the extension. People just don't want to go off of Twitter. People love Twitter. They want as many new tools to have Twitter be that better of an experience. So Therefore, we decided to just continue developing the extension as much as possible and allow for as much of the experience as humanly possible that Web3 in general has, whether it's trading, buying, flexing, ranking, etc., to be on the Google Chrome extension. That'll be very soon.
Yeah, that's bullish as fuck, man. Not gonna lie. And you know, most of the Web3 crypto community is on Twitter, like you were saying. You know, what is your Inspec's experience with Twitter so far, and especially like how the platform has evolved, you know, in the past few months? You know, where do you kind of see the direction of the platform? Like you guys are kind of working very closely with them, and what has your been experience of using it these past few months so far? Oh man, Mike, that Wi-Fi, bro. I don't know where you're at, dude. If you're at Burger King or something, but it's tough out here, bro. You hear me, boss?
Hello?
Yo, Dream. Oh, you there? You there, Mike? Yeah, I can't hear you, buddy. If you're speaking right now.
You don't hear me?
Oh no, now I
Hello?
can. Now I can. You were gone for a little bit.
Twitter is
Damn, getting rugged out here, dude. This is tough. This is tough. We're doing we're doing the best. He's like messaging me. He's like, "What's going on?" I don't know, bro. I'm trying. I'm trying. Maybe it's the platform. Maybe it's not you. You know, maybe
hello?
Twitter. Yeah, I can hear you. Maybe the alpha is so good that Twitter doesn't want this conversation to happen. Mike, you hear me, bro, or no?
No, because my
I don't know. Maybe if you're on like a Bluetooth headset, like set of AirPods or
no,
one
I
of
hear
those, that
you.
can
Twitter
also
is
be.
literally like, I don't know if this has ever happened to anyone. This hasn't happened to me, but
Yeah, it's like you're fading out every time you try and speak, dude. Elon's silencing you. What the hell's going on? I don't know.
hello?
Well, look, Mike. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, that was weird. Every time I spoke, the mic would mute me. So
Dude, you had too much alpha, bro. Elon doesn't want you sharing. So
yeah,
hey, maybe we got past.
there you go. Sorry, what was your question? And everyone listening, I'm really sorry about that. I obviously didn't anticipate that. But go ahead. What was the question?
Yeah, bro, it's all good, dude. This is part of the game. Yeah, so I just kind of asked like your experience with Twitter, right? Like most of the Web3 crypto community is on Twitter. You know, what is Inspec's experience with this platform over the past few months? You know, it's been changing and evolving, and where do you kind of see the direction of Twitter going in the future? I mean, you guys are kind of investing a lot of time and effort into building a presence on this platform. So,
I mean, look, you guys, everyone's seeing just after Twitter was acquired by Elon. I think everyone was really bullish on how Web3 in general will be part of that conversation. Both Twitter will be in comparison to the previous founders, owners, sorry, of Twitter. I'm very curious to see what Twitter happens because Twitter is actually like on a decline. If you look at it from like an actual like revenue standpoint, and like a lot of advertisers are leaving Twitter, so I guess we'll see how Elon decides to maneuver, especially as Web3 becomes bigger and bigger and more capital is being injected into that. It might be that Twitter will just move even more so into the direction of Web3, which I'd love to see, obviously. But our personal experience, it's been great. There's an amazing community. It's one of the, I would say, Twitter and Reddit are the top places on any platform to build a strong community, and doing it.
yeah, well said, man. Curious to see how the platform evolves. Happy to hear you mention Reddit as well. There's a lot of degens that are on there as well. You know, a lot of great communities on Reddit too. But and look, you guys collect tons and tons of data. You know, and even though things have cooled down a lot, are there any trends that you're seeing about the direction of this industry? Like, you know, what's something that we should be keeping an eye on that maybe isn't getting the attention it deserves right now? Is there anything that you can share?
I think
trend. I think it's always the same thing in terms of what is successful and what isn't. It's just the way that it's packaged is always differently, and it's really just about people just want value. We're all just hungry for connections, and we're all hungry for value. I think the curve in Web3 is a little more than traditional, just the traditional world. I think we do expect a lot more out of our founders and out of people in general in Web3, which, I mean, it also makes sense because the founders and the founders and project founders in general expect more out of their founders, out of their community too. Like, look at what Azuki did. The amount of money that they requested in order to be part of this project after time and time again. And that's not a bash at Azuki. I think what they're doing is great. But obviously, if you compare that to Web2 and Web2 communities, they are expecting a lot more. And I think it's just about providing value. You give value, you make sure it's the right type of value. I think one of the problems also in Web3 in general is people just go all in on ideas rather than A/B testing. I come from the traditional Web2 world, like that's where everyone comes from, obviously. But my background is in Web2 advertising. Like, I've been doing that since for the last 10 years. So in that world, it's never just about going 100% in one thing. It's about testing it, seeing what people like, seeing what they don't like, and then going big. I find there needs to be more of that in Web3 in order for people to not just spend all their money, first of all, but to make sure that they're doing is what the community wants. So there needs to be some projects do really well. Like, I'll say Pudgy Penguins again. Pudgy Penguins does a great job with that. They have an amazing feedback loop from what they test, how they get feedback from their community, and then how they deploy those projects and those initiatives.
Yeah, definitely well said. Some good examples there as well. The teams that are being built in this industry right now are impressive. I mean, like you said, your Web2 experience, Inspect has you on their team. We're seeing a lot of that, right? Bringing that Web2 expertise in and helping to scale up this existing industry. So that's great to hear as well. And, I guess also the question I have for you is you guys recently put together and are still building a Web3 council. What was the thought process behind this, and what role do these leaders have within Inspect? Like, what are these Web3 council members going to be in charge of?
Yeah, of course. Honestly, at the beginning, it with Whale and Elena, it just made a lot of sense. Like, we were trying to think, like, this community has been built already. It has such a strong community. We were trying to think who were people who contributed a lot to the community, and in our eyes, it was really Whale and Elena. They had already put in so much time and effort, getting nothing out of it, and just supporting this community that we obviously acquired, but we wanted to make sure that we want to build with the public. And I believe that that's the only way to be successful, especially for a tool like this. I don't know what everyone wants. I'm not going to pretend like I know. I want to find out what everyone wants and continue developing that so that everyone that's using it gets more and more and more value. And there's no better way than to do that with the people who have supported our products from day one and who have such a good pulse on what the community is. So to really answer your question, their role is to be advisors and consultants to us and help us better build our product for the community. And then they're there to also be the voice for the community to help disseminate their messaging of what they want.
Hell yeah, love that. Well, look, you already got some great people on there. I know you guys got Wob as well, and I think there's a couple open spots left. Listen, I know there's a ton of people who would probably love to be on an Inspect Web3 council. Like, any tips to the other content creators out there and how they can maybe get a seat on there? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say provide value and build for others and not yourself, and then everything will come.
There you go, man. That's some great advice right there. And then obviously rankings are very important in the inspect community. I mean, you have crypto Twitter checking their rankings multiple times a day. When you get number one on inspect, it's a special feeling. You know, I've fallen off a little bit, but I was formerly number one back in the bull market days. You know, how can people improve their inspect ranking? Are there any tips that you have to get higher in the algorithm? Like, will the algo change in 2.0 as well? Like, can you talk about the ranking system a little bit?
Of course, I can't get too deep into it, but I can give high level. So there's two ways that you can rank on inspect. There's the sole engagement farming type of way, but I see no value in that. If you're just going to engagement farm your way up to the top of inspect, you're not using it for what it really is meant to do. And at the end of the day, you'll end up falling off because you realize all the effort and time you put into being at the top of inspect is bringing you nothing. I recommend just putting out consistent good content. It's no different than any other social platform. YouTube, it's about volume and quality. So, and as Gary Vee says, document, don't create. You can really go through that route of how you're building, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and just provide value. And through that, if people like what you're doing, and it's the same thing just like us, content creators and creators in general, whether you're writing threads or posting videos, you need to have that feedback loop. And the more output you have, the more feedback you get, the more you can improve, the more engagement you can get, and then the higher you can rank. Because it's based off of global reach and how people are interacting with you. So, yes, you can go global reach by just tweeting 40 times a day, tagging everyone, and then you'll likely rank up, but it's in my opinion, it's a waste.
Yeah, fair point. The first route that you said is definitely the way, right? Creating that consistent content. And look, that's the ethos that I've kind of noticed with this new Inspect team, is that you guys kind of have a different thought process. Like, could you kind of talk about like the previous Inspect, you know, they went under and you guys came and took over and are crushing it. Like, what's the difference in the ethos? Like, what kind of thought process do you have that maybe they didn't see the bigger picture on, which is why you guys are crushing it now?
I don't think, I mean, they really did a good job, honestly. We wouldn't be where we are today with Inspect if it wasn't for them laying the foundation. Like, kudos, all of our success is because of them. We wouldn't be here without them. Now, what I'll say is they are incredibly talented developers, and that's what they did. They built a great tool. But that's what they are. They're developers, and their background is not in monetizing, and that was, without getting into too much detail, that was the issue. So we believe that we can bring this to what it can be, but before monetizing anything, we really want to provide more and more value to the community. So I think you've noticed what it is. I'm a big believer in giving value, and I know when I give value, value comes back.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why, you know, a lot of us were fans of NFT Inspect last year. So that's why we were kind of shocked to hear that, you know, they were going to close their doors, because from the outside perspective, they were crushing it, you know, all over the timeline and whatnot. So we're glad that you guys came in, and obviously shout out to them for building a tool that everybody enjoyed over the past year for sure. So you guys also recently broke 40K monthly active users, and it's literally a bear market. You know, what has been the key to sustaining your community, and what tactics have you been using to grow in these conditions?
By not doing it by myself, and because of our community, because of our council members, and because of everyone. We look at all the comments, all the DMs, take it all into account. I make it a point to speak to people from the community. If people follow me, or if sometimes I'll go out of my way and also follow people and reach out, I'll just message people wanting to get on a call and just get their feedback. Hey, what do you think of Inspect? How do you think we can make it better? And we'll love to see if there's any ways that we can collaborate. I'm super open. It doesn't matter if you have one follower or a million followers. I really don't care. I think that's what really differentiates us from a lot of different people in the space, where I'm not afraid, or I'm not too big. Like, we're all the same. We're all on the same page. We all want Web3 to do well, and the only way to do well is to make it continue to grow and do well. Is to do it together. So I would say that's the biggest difference between us and a lot of people. We're putting in the time to speak to people in the community so that I can continue to make a product that people want.
Yeah, I've noticed that you guys host also like spaces like these. Like, have you kind of noticed that being involved in Twitter Spaces has helped communicate your message better as well? Like maybe some companies should be trying to do some more spaces. Have you noticed that that's been making an impact for you guys at all, being active on there?
I would say yes, but more so because of the conversations, less because of the reach. Because I'll take back some of the conversations that we have and the input, and we'll put it in our product timeline. We'll change some messaging. I ask people for advice, like stuff like that. So yes, I think it's super important. It's in an industry that's solely based, well, not solely, but heavily based on the community. There's no faking a community. Like you have to be in it. You gotta talk. You gotta listen. You gotta hang out.
100%, especially this community, which can see, fakes from a mile away for the most part. Usually you kind of get exposed on Twitter. And look, I also, wanted to say that you guys have been inclusive of multiple chains on your platform, right? Like we see Solana, Ethereum, all this stuff. Like, what has your experience been with the different communities, and which chain do you kind of see as the next up and comer, maybe, outside of the big ones? Like, is there a community on a chain that isn't getting the attention it deserves right now that you think will pop off in the next few months, if not year?
I think it's tough to say. I believe in a lot of different chains. I just think at the end of the day, it's tough when I feel like a lot of chains set the wrong. I'm trying to think of the word. They have the right intentions, but it's because of how big they are, and I think that's kind of the issue. Like everyone grew so quickly during the bull run, and then now less more, and there's more revenue. I think very few are doing a very good job. I really like how Polygon's building. I think Polygon is doing a good job in trying to bring over builders. They're really supporting people in great ways. They're one of the most receptive teams. I know a ton of people who just DM them on Twitter or LinkedIn, and they'll be super open to jumping on a call. I'm curious to see what happens with ZK Sync. Curious to see. Yeah, I would say mainly ZK Sync. Maybe I know Sui had a lot of issues there. They were pretty anticipated, but I think people can always come back. So I guess another one that I'm super, I would say I'm bullish on the tech is probably Algorand. They have really, really great tech. They're actually, one thing that people don't know about Algorand is everyone thinks Polygon is the cheapest gas. Algorand has significantly cheaper gas, but once again, not the greatest communication, and they need a stronger feedback loop. But I think the way that the tech they built is incredible.
That's some alpha right there, man. Shout out to the Algorand folks, shout out to the Polygon folks. We're hearing from Dan on all this great stuff. And I also want to ask you. I know we only have a couple minutes left. You're on a time crunch here, but you built your own Chrome extension. The Inspect platform has really gone through a metamorphosis. Like it's crushing. Are there any more tools that you're going to be integrating? That will kind of have a similar impact of your Chrome extension? What else for the rest of maybe 2023 should we be looking for from the Inspect team?
I think we're hyper focused. I read what's it called? I read a quote from this guy who said, "You'll never believe the power of what can happen when you focus 100% on one thing. You'll be surprised." So I truly do believe that. So I think here really the goal is I don't want to develop more things. I want to keep doing what we're doing now, and just opening it to different demographics and niches on Twitter, and just improving it. We cannot launch another tool until I feel like we're where this tool needs to be.
Well said, man. Look, I'm super excited to see how Inspect evolves over the course of the year and beyond. I mean, you guys have a great perspective on what you're actually trying to accomplish here. I feel like you actually understand what the space wants and needs, like not being able to not having to leave Twitter, I should say, and being able to do the trading and whatnot is really, really interesting to me as somebody who's in both kind of worlds. So, but look, I know you guys are on a time crunch. We appreciate you tuning in, even with all the the tough Wi-Fi and whatnot. We appreciate you answering the questions. I'm going to continue to be an avid fan of Inspect, of yourself, and Dream as well. And look, let's definitely have some conversations in the future. Obviously, Base Degenomics is brought to you by Hashflow, so we appreciate everybody listening. We have conversations with dope people like Inspect and Dan every single week, so definitely tune in for more. And is there anything any final words you'd like to say, sir, before we send you back on to the Inspect world?
No, appreciate that, and thank you everyone for coming and listening. And always a pleasure. Would love to come by sometime soon again.
Appreciate what you guys do for the space, man. Super excited to see how the product develops over the course of the year and whatnot. So keep crushing out there, and we'll be supporting you from the sidelines for sure. All right, everyone. Look, we appreciate you. We'll be catching you guys next week. Just follow Inspect. Definitely check them out. Follow Mike or Dan. Actually, is his name, but still, he's on Mike's account, so it's a little complicated. But still, follow him and check it out. And much love, everybody. We'll be back on the spaces next week for sure. So peace out, and thanks to everybody for listening.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Peace.